Yo, what's up, gang? It's Zilux, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be going over how I made $0 trading the NASDAQ on Thursday. I didn't take any trades Friday, but I did post the recap for me getting break even on this play on TikTok and Instagram, and someone really wanted me to do kind of a review of the day, and I figured I might as well. I enjoy talking about this, so I'm going to go over kind of why I took this trade, why I faded another trade that did play out, and just overall my thoughts, on this day as well. So to start things off with, if I go back to NQ on the 4 hour time frame, that's where I kind of, base my bias off of and everything. You can see on the 4 hour time frame, we have been selling off quite a bit. However, we did have this extremely bullish reaction to tapping into this 4 hour gap down here. And while we didn't sweep the low inside this gap, it wasn't really a huge deal to me because we were already like up here by the time like I got on the charts for AM session. So I was like, I mean, this 4 hour gap is most definitely going to be inversed, and we still have this unfilled 4 hour above. So that was going to be kind of my target for the day, just because of the obvious bullish, displacement after tapping into this key level right here. So that was my idea. So if I go back to the AM session, you can see 8:30 we had CPI and it shot us up a lot. Let's see how many points. Like 130 points. I mean the candle was about 84, but that ended up leaving a 15-minute gap. And if I'm bullish, I expect this 15-minute gap to hold, right? So ideally we would tap into it and then go higher into this 4 hour unfilled. That was my target. So that was kind of my idea going into the day. And I actually want to go on to the 1 minute chart real quick, because there was this short right here where we created this 1 minute BPR. And I did strongly debate taking this and then just target the 15-minute gap. But I was more bullish on the day, like because of all the reasons that I explained. In hindsight, I feel like it's maybe okay to take a trade against my bias because of this unfilled 15-minute, because I want to see us deliver out of that before we go higher. And this reaction is obviously super good. We just, 9:30 create a 9:30 obvious wick, Judas swing up into, a very strong momentum move down. I just didn't really like it, one, because my bias, and we didn't really have like great delivery from anywhere. I would have liked the short more if we tapped into this 4 hour to begin with, which was my original target, and then gone lower into the 15-minute. Let me know if you guys think that's like the right idea, or if you have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it, but that's why I faded this short. But you can see we tapped into the 15-minute and we started, kind of chopping a bit, and then we started going up. And originally, I did want to take this 1 minute inverse long right here, but the close was just not favorable. You can see like this swing high right here. We closed right below it, and my entry would have had to been basically here, stop at this swing low, and then maybe target the 4 hour up here, or just target this, maybe this high, but probably the 4 hour. But you can see like we took the swing high literally right as this candle closed, and that's usually what makes a trade invalid for me if we take the swing high. In hindsight, maybe it was okay, but either way, like I probably would have got stop break even, maybe gone break even here or this 1 minute BPR as well. But I honestly just wanted to wait for, the more consistent thing, which is the highest time frame in inversion in the leg, which was the 5 minute, to target this 4 hour unfilled. So that's what I did. Honestly, like a good play in my opinion. We have the bullish bias, we have V-shape recovery looking inverse, like really good momentum. How many points is this? 70 points in like 5 minutes. Pretty good, with good targets above being this 4 hour unfilled. Now, why is it that I went break even where I did rather than this swing high up here? And that's because, BPR's balanced price range, they're one of the strongest like support or resistance in this case in the market. Let me just pull it up on a 1 minute chart to show you what it looks like if you aren't aware. It's basically just when a fair value gap overlaps another fair value gap. So the, you know, in between where there's no wicks, that's what creates the BPR, and that's what tends to hold price. So you can see on NQ, we formed one, and that's where I decided to go break even at, because I don't know if we break this or not and then continue higher. Now, the weird thing is we did end up closing above. And so typically it's like a fair value gap, you close above, you anticipate you go to the next, swing high, but that didn't actually happen. And I did debate not going break even, uh, you know, after we closed above, but I was like, I mean, if we close above, there's no reason we shouldn't continue higher unless like we don't want to go higher, in which case I should just continue to protect my entry. So that's what I did. And the reason why my stop loss is down here is because I was planning to do a close below, like close the position if we close below the fair value gap we inverted. So basically that's Dodgy's kind of strategy, the person who I learned from. Instead of risking like the full 400 I would normally risk, I only risked 350, planning to do this close below. And I kind of just put my stop loss wherever, I thought it might close, and that $50 of extra or like unrisked, capital is kind of to accommodate for that unknowingness or the unknown of where it'll close. And you can see I would have gone stopped out had I not gone break even, because we closed below. Now I know some people had their stop loss all the way down at this swing low, but and sometimes I do that, but 100-point stop loss, it wouldn't have put me at a 1-to-1 RR at this 4 hour. Now I could have done like something like this, where I do a 1-to-1 and do it slightly above, which, I would have won on this trade, but like, is it really worth risking 100 points to make 100 points for 1-to-1 R when you could just be risking like way less points and catch like higher RR trades? In my opinion, that's not really that worth it. And in good price action, especially if we close above this 1 minute BPR, there's no reason why we should just come back down and then go back up. But that's what we did. And I'm okay with, getting break even on this play, because I would have taken a loss. And I don't really think having my stop at the swing low really would have made sense for me personally. So I'm 100% okay with that. And that's how I made $0, because I got break evened. That's about all I have for the trade recap. I don't think there's really much else to go over. Technically, I could have re-entered on this 5 minute and, it would have played out, but I didn't really like price action. The fact that we come back down, don't sweep out the lows, and then go back up, like, it doesn't really make sense, especially out of macro. My entry was at 9:55, which, if you don't know, ICT macros 9:50 to 10:10 a.m. That's when price tends to deliver. So the fact that we hit 9:50 macro and then get like a retrace into expansion after the macro just doesn't really make sense. So I just sat on my hands. If I go back to my performance, obviously break even week, I wasn't really trading a lot this week. Just, I don't know, price action wasn't super great. This was OPEX day, Friday, which is options expiry. And yeah, I just didn't really see a whole lot of stuff that I liked. But we're still green on the month. Had a good week the first week of December, break even week the week before this one. And my plan is to trade at least Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then just take Christmas and, the day after Christmas off. Probably won't take anything on the 24th. I know there's like employment claims, but price action on Christmas Eve, I doubt will be that great, because I assume institutions will be like closed and stuff. So that's my plan for the week. let me know if you guys have any questions, any feedback for the trades I took or just this week in general. I'm still learning, as you know. These are kind of just recaps to share my knowledge and what I've learned so far. So yeah, I'm open to criticism and everything. Make sure you guys follow my TikTok and my Instagram. I post like the live trade executions on there and some other stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.